Act 9 Interlude. Treads of Fate. Far from the battle between the Redstone Dwarves and the end of the demonic invasion, Ranadir Drakeskull returns to the Dead Mountain, having brought the twin children. The twin children? There is only mention in the cutscene of one. The child to their child to their child. It was a singular the whole way through. Her having twins is a new thing. Unless you... Actually, no, there might have been in... Actually, no, maybe they did say twins. I think there was some plural in it. Oh, fuck, I need to rewatch that cutscene. Fuck. Anyway, after having brought the twin children of the dead Queen Renova to a safe place, and not having been able to contact Aradon for a while, he's eager to learn what has occurred in his absence, unaware of the fall of the Bone Lords in Solria. For now. Master, you've returned. How are the kids? It took some time to find a somewhat safe place for them, far from suspicious eyes. I left Arkain with them for the time being. What's going on here? I've tried to contact the Master for quite some time now, but he hasn't answered my calls. That's why I wanted to talk with you. You should brace yourself, Master. Aradon's temper has become well. Temper? The Master? Don't be ridiculous, dwarfs. There is nothing that. The Bone Lords have lost to the orcs in Solria. What? They'll do it. We don't know the details, but it is true. The legions coming to the Bone Lords have been utterly crushed. Telmaron and Solor have fallen. The corpses have been completely destroyed. Tamalion's gone. Haran and Sir Adoris could barely escape. It took quite some time for the Nerubian to be put back together. The Bone Lords. I didn't know the Sir was there. No one has heard of them. The Sarek has fallen unusually silent. They too seem to be puzzled as to what has happened. Their cathedrals are utterly quiet. Not a single sermon is heard. This worrisome, Master. It's odd to see him calling him Master. And the Master? He is not taking it too well. I think the absence of the most high-ranking servants has not helped the situation either. I must speak with him once. We'll talk later, Muradin. Master? Master. What has happened to the Bone Lords? How is it possible that they've lost? Barazel has betrayed our agreement. There is no way this pathetic little orc could have done this without his help, either his tutelage or maybe even his power. She has destroyed the Bone Lords. If only. What she has done, it goes beyond such minor offenses. It is unfortunate that Talmalion has fallen, was utterly destroyed by the Orc Warlock. He served me long and well. Yet considering that some orcs are familiar with necromancy, it comes to no surprise. That happened all off-screen. The death of this cleave hand you raise is a shame, but of little importance in the grand picture. What the foolish girl did to the Bone Lords, however. What has she done? The Bone Lords are no more. That is all that matters. How is this possible? One of Barazel's unsavory methods, the details are irrelevant. As you say, Master. What needs to be done, then? We're going to leave the orcs be. For the time being. I'll carefully consider how to proceed, however. Barazel is a fool who believes that he'll just let this pass. What are your orders? Barazel and his apprentice Gardan approach the lands of the demons. One take the fortress guards the entrance and use it to launch their own invasion against the demons. I will humble Barazel for his insolence. As soon as his apprentice has taken over the fortress, the undead will turn on him. Boyle Call and all others who follow Barazel's teachings shall be slaughtered. They'll force the humans to retreat to their realms. With all due respect, Master, such drastic action will fracture the human nations, weakening them. I would rather have a dozen petty and disunited kingdoms than one ruled by someone who is utterly under the influence of that wretch Barazel. The long run will mean the humans will be overwhelmed, either by the demons or any other outside threat. Are you certain this is a wise decision to make? I am. Inform your servant Saphira that she must act when I give the order. What if we left them have the fortress and just withdraw our forces afterwards? Blood Call lacks the manpower to invade the demon realms of the demons without the numbers of the undead, even if all the people of Carol and Rengar pledged their support to him. Decisions have been made, Ranandir. Do as you are told. You question my decision? No, I'll do as you ask. Good. I knew I could count on you, Ranandir. Inform Desarek that the brothers Arnos and Dornos are taking the places of the Bone Lords as the leaders of Nexus. As they already fulfilled that role prior to return of the Bone Lords, they should cause no issues. As you wish, sir. I must take my leave of you now. Some unfinished business I need to take care of. Feel free to return to your duties once you've informed Saphira and Desarek. This is wrong. Killing the ones that end an invasion. I really hope the Master knows what he's doing, but I am no longer convinced. We've received word from a messenger. Remaining nobles of Rengar who have not joined Blood Call should arrive in the morning. Duke Redfist has made it clear that he's no one willing to waste any more time. His forces are already on the move. We'll wait until early morning, no longer. Then we'll continue our march. Not willing to waste any more time. Inform the troops. Yes, General. We've already wasted too much time. How about not wasting any time at all here in Soria? Brian, you're the last face I want to see right now. Lucky I can hardly see it at all. What have I done to deserve such hostility from you, Aveen? Do you even need to ask? I'm here to save you from yourself, Aveen. There's no need for such a demeanor. Speak. This is a fool's errand, and you know it. You and the others have been wasted here in Soria. Take your troops and take them north. Join Gardan instead of throwing your life away for a lost kingdom. You're smarter than this, Aveen. Be with your tarot instead of... You've no right to use that word, Brian. I will not be swayed by you. Just want Gardan to do your bidding and use him against his own family. You made him kill his uncle as well as several other members of our family. Our? He made that decision himself, Aveen. I know it. I had no hand in it. You may not have told him to do it, but who taught him? Whose teachings made him what he is now? Renaud and Gardan met in private. Renaud offered an olive branch. All that my tarot had to do was get rid of you, as well as others who had corrupted him. They met? I had no idea. Yes, and if you had not been around Gardan, I'm sure Renaud would not have demanded as much. You were the reason why he thought he had to root out everything he deemed evil around my tarot. You cannot seriously believe that. You cannot blame me for his death. It was Gardan that struck him down, because he saw no other choice. I know all too well how he felt afterwards. I would have preferred if things were different, but there's little room for it. It was machinations of the Emperor, not mine, that turned them against each other. I arrived to help Gardan, not harm him or his family. And yet your rival only made things worse. Renaud feared for Gardan's soul back when you were his tutor. Your return made him do so again. He tried to protect Gardan from you. Gardan needs no protection from me. Unlike his uncle, I have not tried to kill him. The Emperor gave me a mission, Brian. I'll take Soria from the Orcs and make it the protectorate of the Empire, with me as its protector. They'll negotiate between Gardan and the Emperor. I'll mend the wounds and end their conflict to restore our family. The Emperor is not himself, Aveen. You will fail. Is that what you told Gardan? Is that why he went to murder his own family? I told him the truth. Same truth I'm telling you now. No interest in destroying your family. I just wish to make things right. Right for who? Yourself, my tarot? Don't make me laugh, Brian. I've seen the magic that the Orc leader uses, the same magic you have taught him. You're playing a game that goes beyond helping the family. I don't know what game you're playing yet, but I see that whatever your interests are, they are your own, not those of my tarot. You want revenge for your exile. My exile? There is no. The Emperor told me everything. I know that you're banished for your sinister plots to take over the Empire, but he followed your deceptive plans, and now you use my tarot to destroy our family's revenge. Damn. She's believing it. Listen carefully, Brian. We're done here. I'll destroy your Orc servitors. Then I'll bring my tarot and the Emperor together to reconcile, and you'll not stop me. Dumbass. I've never tried to. I said we're done here, Brian. The future protector shall raise more important matters than to listen to the pleadings of failed conspirators. Stubborn as her brother. If you're actually unite with Gardon, it will cause immense damage when trying to actually get him into contact with the Emperor. They might both die, or worse. I'm sorry, Gardon, but at least the next of your family members will not die by your own hand. Well, that's depressing. Hey, folks, I have returned. Act 9, Chapter 8, King of the Dead. Following the meeting with Ranhadir, Aradon has teleported himself into the depths of a mountain, far from any undead force, and far from any army of the living. The Watcher had to deal with this matter alone. The fate of the Bone Lords had troubled him greatly, for it implied that it is possible for him to lose control of his own servants, something that had never happened before. This knowledge had to remain hidden. It would either die with the last of the Bone Lords, or be known only to Aradon and the Bone Lords, after they had been restored. I can sense it. The Bone Lords are nearby, or what is left of them anyway. No time to waste. Rocktail will either return to the fold so that they may undo whatever twisted magic Barazel's student has used on him, or meet his end. He's too dangerous to be left to his own devices. Barazel. If I wasn't above such things, I would gladly have torn him into a million pieces for what he did, and the shady little apprentices along with him. But I'll not let him have the satisfaction of having caused me the sort of trouble that would throw me off balance. I admit, however, that it'll be satisfying to watch his little intrigues fall apart when his apprentice Gardon meets his end. If you're as warned, him, I'll act even sooner. Perhaps I'll use the undead Iron Fist to invade Soria. Let one apprentice kill the other. Yes. And once Barazel has been dealt with, Tigrak is next. Even if I have to drown the entire continents with undead, balance will be restored. But first, I must deal with the renegade Rogtail. Okay, so it's just I guess Brian gave her... Ooh, level 15. Brian gave her the... and chaos damage. He's gotten a hell of a stat up in items. Fuck. It's been a while since we played him, and he's gotten all his good shit out. I guess Brian prepped her for it. It's like, here's how you mess with Arcanian essence. It just seems like a random thing for him to prep her for. So, did he somehow meet with her when he made his deal with Aradon? Probably not. Who knows? I guess he prepped her for it well in advance. I remember feeling that it was a bit of a weird one. Like, I know the idea of fusing the essences of them all together to, you know, screw with them. I know it wasn't established in any way, so it just felt really weird seeing it, you know? Hey folks, and I've returned. Let me just fix this. Following the failure of the undead in Heya, Rogtail's gone missing. Being the last of the Bone Lords and now no longer under Aradon's control, he's a dangerous being for all who encounter him. Aradon must constrain his former servant, either by force or through diplomacy. Given that Rogtail's merged with the other two Bone Lords, it's unlikely, however, that he's in any stable mental state, and even less likely for him to cooperate. Rogtail. Masters decree that all knowledge connected Bone Lords following the events in Heya be contained. Yet, due to the responsibilities of their nexus, this knowledge must be written down, cannot be ignored, even ends up being hidden in the depths of our libraries. Only few who participate in battles of Heya know what happened to the Bone Lords, and the numbers are dwindling. It appears as if the leader of the Orcs and their allies, a woman by the name of Mari, has managed to merge the three Bone Lords into one, causing them to lose their minds and abandon the battlefield. Texts in the library suggest that shadow creatures of the days of the Four used to merge to increase their power. If that's the case, then the knowledge used here must have come from none other than Barazel himself, which comes as a little surprise given the suspicions that Amari is a student. Ah, okay, so it's not a unique thing of messing with the Arcanians. Shadow creatures used to merge to increase their power, and she applied the same principle to the essences of the Arcanians. I guess there must be enough overlap between them. Could she do that with other races too? For the shadows back then, it increased their power at the cost of taking their personality and memories from them. It also served to deform them, turning them into less humanoid shapes than they were before. Barazel must have learned whom the Master sent and told Amari how to react, using knowledge provided by Crom. I doubt that I'll write any more entries. Master will not approve of this, even if it is hidden in the Zero archives, and yet it must be written down to be preserved for the future. Barazel must have learned whom the Master had sent and told Amari how to react, using knowledge provided by Crom. Ah, the lines from Crom earlier. Yeah, so he must have I guess he must have tipped her off somehow very subtly. And in a way that Aradon hadn't seen.
I've been thinking.
He can heal, Chain of Death, Mirage, Disintegrate, Dark Ritual, Lightning. Mask of Illusions grants him the ability Mirage. This mask once belonged to Tigrak the Dark One, master of the art of disguise along with his darker powers. The mask was said to possess the power that would allow its wearer to change himself into any other being and still use its powers. Tigrak had stopped using it, however, so he didn't need to do that. Mask was lost after 4 had fallen. Scepter of Death. When the gods who wandered the world of Arkain, this scepter was worn by the now dead God of Death. It used to have the power to not only reanimate the dead, but also bring them back to life as they never died in the first place. However, lost much of its power after the death of its creator and owner. Nevertheless, it still holds tremendous, enormous power. It's so true resurrection. Remember, the orcs were saved by a God of Death. Maybe the gods are still alive. It's not Aradon. They worship the God of Death, not the Watcher. Only few know that this ring once used to belong to Zindrak, the demon god. After killing Zindrak, Aradon took his ring and kept it in his vault to make sure that its power would never fall into the hands of the demons again. Ring of Damnation, it only halves magic damage. Like, you can leave it to them. The Sign of Life was once created by some of the most powerful archmages of the kingdoms in an attempt to destroy the demons once and for all. However, they failed and the artifact was destroyed. Now Aradon has put it back together and reshaped it to fit his own designs. Just 500 hit points. Cloak of the Avatar. This cloak is the cloak of the Avatar of Death, Aradon, also known as the Watcher of Arkain. Although it looks as if it's seen better days, it has never changed from its original look. Imbued with the powers of death and decay, it was always just as tattered as it is now. Heart of the Dead Mountain increased agility and strength by 6. The origins of crystal remains unknown to anyone, but Aradon keeps his secret to himself and refuses to tell anyone what it is. Not even Crom or the Bone Lords know its origin.
You called. A fateful choice. Indeed. A fateful choice.
I need to be careful with this mic when I was putting it away after. Protect the servants of a weak fire creature. You and the master are insignificant. Crush you like the insects you are. Okay, so this is a separate force. Initially, there was the undead Harry sent monsters against the dwarves if they dug too deep near the undead's tunnels. But they used monsters that wouldn't trace back to the undead. So I thought the ancient enemy of the dwarves was the minions of the undead. But it seems they are a separate faction. So I'm not sure what monsters the undead would send against the dwarves. I was going to say something else there, and my mind just blanked because I don't know, talked about that.
I've been thinking.
There's no sound effects here. Well done, you've managed to stun Aradon. Repeatedly.
Is there something amiss? That sounds logical. A fateful choice. My talents are yours.
Do you like resing it?
That sounds logical. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
From the sounds of it, we'll probably get to kill the fire elemental here. Why? Great, the Spirit Legionnaire Elite. That's new.
You call?
It used to give a different creature before.
Yes, right away.
There's no way in hell this up here is the way. Or no, it's curving. Oh.
That sounds logical.
Who knows? So, I thought it was just going to dead end.
A fateful choice. Yes, right away.
You can just keep trucking. Don't need to use it.
A fateful choice.
May call quits here. It's about 3 AM and I keep stopping and starting and it's not gonna get any better. God damn. Emphasizing a lot of limited life units. Or, you know. Wow, you're already dead. Fuck. I'm surprised Tremalion's dead. Again, it feels like... I wonder if there's more meant to happen in that cutscene that we didn't get to see. Remember how it repeated that one line? Was more meant to have happened in that cutscene that we just didn't get to see? Like Tremalion being gone. Felt that that would have gotten some attention. Rather than it just being done off screen. I wonder why you creatures even bother mining gold. You cannot use it and neither does your master. It matters little in the grand scheme. I know you die. There's so many abilities here, it's kind of confusing me, honestly. All I'm learning here is that if enough of these charge to add Aradon, they could win. Especially given that they can stun him. If enough of those taskmasters charged him, they could just stun him into oblivion. It probably does like 150 damage a pop. Just the typical thing, so. Through this, you do have infinite mana.
My talents are yours. Indeed.
You look like some of Tigrak's creations. You are not, but that doesn't mean I will let you stand in my way, Sludge. We may have met their master now. Alright, just fight. Just meeting the fire golem had me thinking so. Wonder if Ardon can even finish him off.
That sounds logical. Indeed.
I'm honestly feeling bad for that fucking elemental. Longer duration on it than it seemed, but still limited. Nice. What's there a dead person doing down here? Dead human.
That sounds logical.
Okay. Master, I knew you would come. Rogtail. I failed you, haven't I? Your failing Suri is not the reason I am here. Your current state is not your fault. We were tricked by Barzell and his impertinent orc devil. I'm here to bring you home. Home? To the Dead Mountain? Or death? We'll find a way to cure you of this state. The merging of three different minds into one has caused a lot of damage to your mind, but we'll find a way to fix it. I see the Fire Master, flesh burning in the sun, the entire continent aflame with naught but bones remaining. The crusade is over, Rogtail. For now, we must focus on fixing what was broken. I hear the voices of 1,000 living as they die in agony. I see them with my own eyes. The last Arcanians. The madness has left my mind, for now. I see everything so much clearer now. It wasn't a vision of the future that we Bone Lords saw. It was an event of the past that we'd forgotten. The doctrine of Sarek was never our own, it was theirs. We were merely adopting it, thinking our memories were not memories but the fate of Arkain's future. Mountains of bones. Our memories of the slaughter of our own kin, at your command. Your madness has destroyed your mind, my former servant. I never ordered you to slaughter any Arcanians. Their deaths were the result of the war between the gods. Yes, mostly. But you've found survivors, and you and your siblings. We were there, ordered to kill them after the war was over. You made us slay our kin because you said there's no place for Arcanians in the New World, except in your ranks. For you, there were just more corpses for your armies. You and your siblings weren't confused. All of you want to destroy the legacy of the gods, including the Arcanians, to replace it with your own. The screams. I can no longer hear your voice in my mind, Master. You can no longer silence their screams in my head. We committed genocide against our own while bound to your will. Everything I have done, everything I've ever done, served the balance of Arkain. I never ordered you to kill any Arcanians. There's no reason to do such a thing. If there had been any survivors, there would not have been enough to repopulate Arkain. Your kind was already dying. There was no genocide. No genocide. You killed the remaining gods. You killed the Arcanians. You even murdered your own siblings. You were the greatest mass murderer in the history of Arkain, Master. You tricked Tigrak into stealing the creations of others, then went to Zindrak and Barazel, telling them about his misdeeds. You started a war by playing both sides against each other. You're behind the entire thing. Then you stabbed Zindrak in the back and killed Barazel in the process. You wanted Arkain for yourself. Nonsense. Tigrak acted out of his own volition. I had nothing to do with it. I warned Zindrak and Barazel to avoid further harm before it could get out of hand. Turning on Zindrak and Barazel afterwards served no purpose other than restoring the balance. With only 3 members, there could be no 4. And yet you remained. 1 is not 4. And who gets to decide what this balance is? You? Only you. There's no code, no ancient text, no mandate of the gods. Nothing. There's no greater will or power you serve. This balance has always been your invention. It was your own pettiness that made you hunt mortal necromancers for millennia. You underestimated the damage you would suffer when the others died. In your hubris, you thought you wouldn't sustain any lasting damage. You yourself forgot who you were. You started to believe your own lies. Your intrigues were so intricate that you yourself believed them as soon as you no longer remembered that you orchestrated them. Now that we are one, free of your will, and our minds and memories combined into one, our memories and minds have been able to piece everything back together. After all this time, there is clarity. I see that the damage that this cursed Orkling has made you go through has completely deformed your memories. Perhaps you cannot be saved. Saved? Like you did this world. The 4 were not the saviors of this world. It would have survived without them. They were conquerors. Even if you were not deranged right now, your lack of understanding of these things, this world would have been utterly destroyed by the war between the gods if it was not for us. We, born in the remains of the fallen gods, were the only chance of survival this world had. It wasn't selfishness, it was the only option. Your own deceit has fooled you, my master. I'll not strike you down, Rogtail. Despite your insolence, you could still be useful to me. You cannot control me. Perhaps, but I can cage you. I can rip your mind and soul apart into 3 pieces. I can rebuild the bone roots from scratch, and I shall. I don't want Rogtail to go. I'm liking him right now. There's a second act to this mission, and I'm worried about what it is. I'm worried about a fucking boss fight right now, too. I hope I full healed before it. I doubt it, but it would be nice. So, I see dead. Just so, to save me having to do the loop again. I see dead people. Okay, those exist. Okay. Sure. King of the Dead. I don't want Rogtil to die. He's information that'll be nice to get out, you know? Or he could, you know, be a foil to Aradon. And it'll be nice for the Serek to not be annoying.
A fateful choice. You call.
But there's no way in hell he's surviving. No way in hell. He's some insane region. There's some conversations over here that we'll get. Well, in theory, there's some conversations over here that we can get. So that's why I'm going back. There's not going to be any items, no drops, no nothing. But there may be further talk. The kobolds were worshipping a shrine. There's the ancient fire elemental. Maybe he'll comment something. Ancient fire golem.
Yes, right away. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds lovely.
So much fire. So unbalanced. This place needs more ice.
You call. That sounds logical.
Why couldn't you... Okay, cool move, but... Why won't you let me use that?
A fateful choice.
Bastard.
That sounds logical. Yes, right away. That sounds logical.
Huh.
Indeed.
Some of them are like shrinking and growing weirdly. I wish we could take those over.
You call.
You switched them to your side,
Choice.
but just left them rogue. So much fire, so unbalanced. This place needs more ice. I'm taking that as a joke, but... Is this how Aradon's deciding what balance is now?
Is there something amiss?
But yeah, I was wondering how, like, how Aradon determines what balance is. And... I remember saying it before, but I'm not sure if it's accurate. That say if a human kingdom did get... Then again, Xehanort did own the continent, and he didn't break them. Unless he did. Basically, I was thinking if any, like, say if the humans fully took over the continent, he would stop them. If any faction does try and decide themselves, he will kill them. He says, oh, yeah, I want them to decide their own fate. Not like that, not like that, not like that. He wants to keep them locked in a stasis of some sort. But I'm not sure if that's necessarily accurate. The guy's a shitbag, but you want to be accurate about emphasize, about what he's actually doing.
A fateful choice. In the Lich King's name.
Most of the time, why does he draw so much aggro?
Yes, right away.
Maybe they know instinctively that he's the enemy of life. He is the enemy of life. His chain of death would actually be great here. Actually, it's probably because they're all summons. And there's not enough of them to actually block his progress. The enemy's progress.
Indeed. Yes, right away. Indeed. That sounds logical. Yes, right away. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. A fateful choice.
Nothing.
Yes, right away.
Tedious. I wish it was possible to speed this up. Would be nice.
You called.
I wish I'd actually left one behind. That way I could just walk it forwards and we'll be teleported back. But this bombard he did, which has not changed the map at all. I wish you could do it in the middle of the fight. It always kind of annoys me when characters can pull out moves that you can't normally do. I remember the Ranadier boss fight, where he starts summoning tons of units that he can't do. He can call down Meteor's Bombard. No, he can call down the Meteor Bombard, but he could call down the Ice Golem. The Ice Inferno, which he can't do. I think he could cast the Meteor Bombard a lot more than he normally can. Maybe. He was getting a lot of extra moves that he normally doesn't have, and it was really annoying. He was also a lot hardier than he was. He had more hit points than this version of Aradon. Or maybe he was rivaled with it. I'm not sure.
That sounds logical.
Cannot cast spells.
A fateful choice. Yes, right away.
Or the Sark. Barazel then lied to Gardon. As Rogto refused to cooperate, Aradon has little choice but to fight his former loyal servant. Rogto cannot be allowed to be free. He is too dangerous for any living for living and undead, mortal and immortal alike. That would mean Barazel lied to Gardon. Or is it possible that Barazel himself does not remember? Again, he was shattered and piecing himself back together. Maybe he doesn't know. I think it was in there that it wasn't only Aradon that wiped out the Arcanians. The rest of the four joined in too. I am unoriginal. Renegade rocked. Reign of the Four is over. The reign of bone shall begin. Yeah, no, it's a good idea if he is defeated.
That sounds logical. That sounds logical.
Scoot faster, you jackass. Cannot target heroes.
Indeed. That sounds logical.
Great. This may be Ranadira 2.0. Well, we're given this really strong guy.
Indeed. That sounds logical.
I'm questioning his ability to match. Rogtail. Rogtail has a hell of a lot of health.
Indeed. You called. Yes. There's something else. That
You know, if you brought some actual goddamn units, you'd be in a better position.
Is there something else? A fate? My talents are yours. Indeed. Yes, right away. That sounds logical. Yes, right away.
God damn.
Indeed.
Completely stomach.
Yes, right away. Is there something else? Choice. That sounds logical.
Our hero has been killed.
I'm not even making any progress here. I'm just bashing my head against the wall. I can see why like Aradon keeps saying he's too dangerous to be left alive. He is fucking too dangerous to be left alive.
Indeed. My talents are yours.
Power of Death is... I know, honestly, it feels too weak.
You called.
Only 150 hit points? That just doesn't feel like enough. And Dark Ritual, just for mana, is useful, but...
My talents are yours.
I know. I'm
Yes, right away.
not the most satisfied with Aradon's ability set right now.
That sounds logical. Yes, right away.
Goddamn.
Is there something else? My talents are yours.
I don't even know how to do this. Fuck. King of the Dead. I don't even know how to do this.
Indeed. A fateful choice. Yes, right away. Sounds logical. Indeed. Yes.
Okay, how the hell are we to do this? It's really weirdly scaled. Fuck. I'm gonna look up, see how others have done it. Hey, folks. I have an idea of what to do now. I watched Jay Bruno's thing of it. Thank you for your help. So let's give it a try. Basically, I skimmed through the video. Once you have this initial hump done, you're golden as long as you keep him stunned. So focus, you summon your waves, he summons his, you focus fire his guys down, and you try and keep Big Boy stunned while avoiding the stuns yourself.
Taste this. That sounds lovely.
He also did a lot of kiting. Heal. It's one thing to say a thing, it's another thing to immediately do it, you know? Yeah, no, this one's botch. Part of it's the keybinds. It's the first time I've had to hit Y all game, you know? This, I think Jay Brunos does this in normal. So this is gonna be... I think he does it on normal. I think he's done some of them on hard, some on normal. I don't know what he does diggies for. Okay, U-Y-T. Myself with that. Heal. No, it's a bit unbalanced, ain't it? So close, and yet so far.
In the Lich King's name.
Yes, right away.
I could still make this.
That sounds logical.
Oop. No. We're getting closer. This is just requiring more finesse than I'm used to giving. So, it's throwing me. Look, I get big army, I throw army at enemy. Blah. I may pop hero abilities. That's as far as finesse goes. If you want more finesse, you go to a different person. And yet I somehow managed to get into Gold League in StarCraft.
Sounds logical. A fateful choice.
Protoss.
That sounds logical.
Nah. There we go.
In the Lich King's name.
Why do the Bone Lords have better minion summons than you do?
Sounds logical. Is there something amiss?
Damn. Well, at least that's two gone.
Yes, right away. You call. Yours to command. I've been thinking. A fateful choice. That sounds logical.
Ah, damn it.
Yes, right away. Indeed. Is there something amiss? You call. A fateful choice. Chilling.
For the Lich King. In the Lich King's
So, thank you again to Jay Brino. Your video was of major help. I got through this far easier than I should have thanks to it. Thank you. I love you. I will not bend the knee again. You shall. Ah. Ah. You are mine, Rogtail. How can you use that mask Tigrak once gifted to you and call him your foe? This mask was no gift. Tigrak lost it when he fell. Never gift anyone anything, selfish being that he is. You were all selfish. Still, the false and deformed memories. It's a shame what happened to you. Those pay for this in due time. Ah. Impossible. My soul and mind are the souls and minds of 3 Arcanians. Part of me wanted to return to you, but now I'm too dangerous to you, and I know too much. Yes, I cannot be caged. I cannot be controlled, neither by you nor anyone else. Even with your immense powers, you cannot contain me anymore. The essence of the Arcanians, the power of the gods you've slain, protects me. Mark my words, my former masters. Sark may no longer be mine. We'll build a new army of bones. We'll march against you, against Berzel, against Tigrak, against anyone, anywhere. There'll be naught but bones. He's losing it. He's deranged, but I can no longer feel his presence. He must have gone far. I wonder, was he just mad, or did someone help? Berzel or Tigrak, maybe. But the possibility that parts of his insane talk were true must be considered, at least, despite his madness. Did we really just want power? Was the balance just an act, an invention? It seems unlikely.